Yeah, good evening. I'm your host, Armando, and this is Open Topic. So tonight's topic is about the scams that we grew up with. And I'm not talking about, the hood scams. I'm talking about the scams that were actually professional, the pyramid schemes whatsoever. And since I'm Latino or Afro Latino, I've been introduced to a lot of pyramid scheme scams that I never took part of because it sounded too good to be true. I remember one time it was a Honduran girl that lived in my building. So me, her, and her family, we went to like this big meeting like in the Holiday Inn in Manhattan. So they had to sell some type of product or something. And then the thing is though, if you was the highest seller of this product, you would win a free vacation to the Dominican Republic. So that was the goal. The next year I spoke to certain people and it turned out that it was a pyramid scheme and it was a scam. So if anybody have had or have met people with the pyramid scheme scams, please share your stories because I have several in my experiences in life that I've seen a lot of pyramid style schemes, scams all over in New York only, but maybe in other countries or in other states as well. So please comment down below if you know or have seen any scams in the past. All right, so I'm back. With that said, right? I mean, in my lifetime, a lot of people have been or have participated or have been victims to the 419 and coming out of Nigeria. So, with the scam coming from Nigeria, the scam was to actually write letters on the emails of a fictitious African prince that actually lost their parents to an accident or something like that. And to unbeknownst to a lot of Americans and some Europeans that never been to Africa, they'll actually think that that person's a legit part of royalty or a dignitary within that country. When the fact is, and I hate to burst the bubble for Americans and Europeans and Australians, that in Africa, the monarchies don't really exist anymore. There's only like maybe, if I to my recollection, like maybe two or three monarchies or have a monarchical system. I think that will be called. I think one of the places that still have like a monarchical, a monarchy. I think will be Morocco. Um, and if and to my recollection, Swaziland, which is now known as Eswatini. So anybody that have said that they're a king of a country, which is in Africa, t- is nine times out of 10 is lying to you because in Africa, I'm talking about as far as West Africa and maybe East Africa, not so much East Africa. You see, you have a lot of people who are of the same tribal makeup, right? Or maybe not. But then now in Africa, you have the francophone countries. Then you have the anglophone countries. In Africa, there's only one Hispanophone country, which is Equatorial Guinea. And to my recollection, I know that Angola and maybe another place in Africa. I don't know if I'm paraphrasing or anything like that. I think there's like maybe two countries in Africa that actually has Portuguese as its lingua franca. So, not to get off topic, but just to tell anybody who has been a victim of the 419 scam, just do your research. Then nowadays, you have a lot of people who are young that they're actually getting their hands in credit card scams. And there's actually a subgenre in rap which is called scam music, which is that they actually instructing the younger crowd on how to make money through scams. Albeit while they're actually doing that, the alphabet boys are lurking, and some of these successful scam rappers are actually doing federal bids because of the instructions that they're actually giving to the youth on how to be a good scammer. So that's all I'm saying about my part or my experiences with scammers, being scam, etc. If anybody wants to come up and talk about the scams that they've seen or they have participated in or whatsoever, feel free to actually come on my panel. I'll actually drop the link. All right, so I'm back. All right, so I'm back. Now, a lot of people have said, I guess the game, the political game is a scam. I mean, to a certain point, I agree because you have certain politicians who are actually, prolific scam artists. So the only thing is, though, that in some third world countries, the money that is supposed to be for the people, they actually use to fill up their own pockets. And then it doesn't really help that some of these third world countries are actually dictatorships, which I'm not going to name a lot of countries, but you have certain countries that fall into the dictatorship regime. And then on top of it, they scam the poor people who actually work hard for their country with political scams, promise of tourism, etc. When the fact is they're not improving the quality of life for their citizens or their countrymen. So I believe that depending on where you at, pot, the game of politics could be a scam. Do anybody know anything else that could be considered a scam? Let me know. Salute aggressive. All right. So I'm about to drop the link again. So anybody that wants to talk about scams, let's talk about it because scams actually affect and effect people in their daily lives. So let's talk about it. Yeah, we got 7 viewers out here, so please hit the like button. Salute Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. So, all right. Now, what I'm saying is this. Yeah. So now, right? If you actually look at what's going on with in the world of politics, right? Now, what I'm going to say may or may not offend people, but let's be honest. This new surge of migrants and anybody and everybody when they're talking about equal rights and the job placement that you have to learn pronouns and whatsoever, I think is just a worldwide scam. Now, shout out to Angel Crispin, Aggressive Defiance, Trenches Politics, Amazing Spider-Man. So, shout out to all my supporters. And if you haven't yet checked out their channels, check out Trenches Politics, check out Aggressive Defiance, check out Angel Crispin, my Puerto Rican brother, and Amazing Spider-Man. So those are all my supporters. I actually, I was actually just looking for a channel, and I came to Aggressive Defiance. And ever since then, I could actually say that I actually respect his viewpoints on certain things. While he's actually dissing the ugly man. You know, the ugly man from Coney Island, the guy that looked like that he has eaten farts all his life. Yeah, you know that type of guy. The guy that he sounds real squeaky, more squeakier than Funkmaster Flex on a high day. So, which I'm not gonna go around and give that bozo any light. But the thing is, though, one thing I don't understand is this: how the heck you live in a neighborhood, right? And you say that this neighborhood is so bad, right? It is so ghetto. It's this and that. But you don't contribute nothing to the community. I don't get that. And then you acting like you actually going around the hood say, yeah, I'm going to expose something. What you're exposing? I mean, like, I, to talk about the biggest scam, this content creator's channel is nothing but a big scam. Talking about, I don't know if he's on a case, but if you're a juror on a case, right, or anything like that, you have to actually you act, you have to actually keep details to yourself because at the end of the day, you have certain people that think that they are court reporters when they're really not. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to go tell you that I'm a court reporter or anything like that. And I'm going to give my interjection. If I'm going to actually give my interjection, I would rather have somebody that is actually an expert in the law or is an expert in laws that could actually try to communicate to the local populace of what's going down. Because let's put it like this: unless if a person really know their laws or really know their statutes and everything like that, 9 times out of 10, the law enforcement agencies will try to run you over just because you don't know laws. And not for nothing, and anybody could actually agree to this. There are new laws that are actually being passed in certain states that are not to anybody's benefit. Let's be honest. In the United States, you have a lot of asinine laws that if you were to do certain stuff, they'll actually lock you up for. I remember reading like maybe 10 years back, right? That if you actually go to a certain town or city in the United States, and let's be honest, we all curse, you know what I'm saying? Why is it now if you ask there's a law saying that if you curse in front of children, the cops will have the right to arrest you just because you cursed in front of children. I mean, technically, if you actually take that law to the Supreme Court and you get arrested by the cops for cursing in front of children, you could actually challenge that in the Supreme Court because they're actually violating your civil rights. I might be wrong, but people who are actually knowledgeable about United States law, hit me up. I'll actually just sit here and listen about all the laws which are for our benefits and the ones that are not for our benefits. So I just like to listen because there's a lot of asinine laws out here in the United States. All right, so I'm back. Now, with that said, I love the month of February because it's Black History Month. And in New York, for my community, is also Dominican History Month. So, with that said, there's one man that actually embodies, and this is where Dominican history and African American history is actually combined. Now, what a lot of people don't understand that the term "by black" was actually that they thought that was actually people in the 1960s they actually coined that term. When the fact is, it wasn't. It was a man by the name of Carlos Cook who was actually militant, and I guess he was a student of Marcus Garvey. Now, Carlos Cook was actually born in the Dominican Republic to parents who were from San Martin. So when he came to the United States, not only he was a freedom fighter, not freedom fighter in the literal sense that he went up and fought people and stuff, but he actually fought for black rights and everything. And also, while he was militant and everything like that, don't take my word for it. You could actually look him up. He was the first man that actually coined the term "buy black." Yeah, I mean, I would go to Dubai, but me and my wife were just thinking about it like that. One of the laws in Dubai is that you can't that in public you can't even have PDA. So if that was the case, if I'm going to Dubai, well, I would like to go see the areas of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. But if I can't, if it's illegal to have PDA with your wife, I'd rather just avoid going to that country altogether. What, like for anybody who's actually listening on the chat, what's your thoughts about that? That's what's up. It's a good thing that we could all sub each other. You know what I mean? And I mean, shout out to trenches politics and aggressive defiance. I mean, within these YouTube streets, I'm just gonna say this: a lot of people could actually talk crap about content creators, etc. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I don't, and one thing I could actually say about aggressive defiance, I came up there, and for the 1 or 2 months that I've actually subbed to his channel, I've actually met a lot of progressive individuals. Shout out to Crisis Black. Shout out to Dog Soldier. I know that he's online now, but shout out to his movement and everything. Shout out to Aggressive Defiance. Shout out to Angel Crispin and Net Stars, Big Boy, all these guys. Those are the guys that I could actually say that are solid in their beliefs. They stand on business, they stand on what they believe on. And most certainly, I just came in there, I didn't know what aggressive defiance was or anything. Aggressive Defiance and all the guys that actually be on his chat, they actually treat me like I'm their brother. You know what I'm saying? They actually treat me like I'm a part of their family, even though that we are miles away. And one thing I could actually say, I respect Crisis Black because me and him, we have similar stories. I mean, his story is more, how should I say, more detailed than mine. But Me and him, we were actually talking about times that we've actually met certain people within this industry that we would call hip hop. So with the hip hop and everything, and he told me his story, and I've told him, and I've told Crisis what I think happened in one of his situations. Because when I was living in Jersey City and I was still on my wild shit, I met a Dominican man that was just going into the army. And he went up and broke it down to me like a brother should. He told me like, "Yo, fam, you're not living right. You're doing all of this, and then look, it's just stupid and everything like that. What you doing?" So I went up and I would occasionally I would get mad and stuff. But you know what? You could tell that certain people that actually come, they actually telling you with love in their heart and everything like that, what you're doing wrong. So he told me that what I was doing wrong and everything. But one of the stuff that I learned from this man, and I'm telling you, this was like around 2009, 2010. And this guy was an artist too, before he actually went into the army. What he told me was that when you think that you actually going to get signed to a label and everything like that, and you thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. These record executives are not only the dudes that you think that are educated and they actually have the business degrees. What the guy told me is that most of these guys they actually studied psychology, meaning they know how the mind works, or 9 times out of 10 they're going to use you as their proven ground for their psychological theories. So to all the young guys who actually getting into the music industry, make sure that you're educated first. And then second of all, these sharks are going to use these sharks. When I'm talking about these faceless executives, most of these guys actually have knowledge technology whatsoever. So with all the stuff that you see that's happening, artists fighting each other, artists who are actually in competition with each other, and they might be from the same neighborhood. It might be a hood beef. It might be an industry beef. But then most of the times, when you have industry beef, you have to go around and see who's around your circle. We're not talking. We're talking about people who are educated, want to see you do good. But then, depending on what type of deal that you sell, that you signed, if you do not know the legal paperwork of what you signed, 9 times out of 10, while you and a person could have been building instead of beefing, there are players in the background that actually want to see you beef. And let's say that y'all get into a beef, and then it depends on whose record sales will go down. It might be both of y'all record sales might go down because you're not a hot item anymore. So if you're not a hot item anymore, right? I'm talking about industry wise. So that means that your beef, which is the industry beef that y'all are beefing and everything, 9 times out of 10, some of these rappers are not even are not even making the money that we think that they're making. It's the people in the background that actually set this up. And then y'all are people who are non-white or from the hood. and y'all beefing, and everybody's into their feelings. When the fact is, there's players involved that actually profiting on your misery. So one thing I gotta say is stay smart, read the books, and make sure that when you actually get into this industry, make sure that you have a lawyer, but make sure that you know some of the contractual laws also. That is one advice that I could actually give to all these young rappers that want to go independent. Or if you're gonna go sign a deal, make sure that the deal is benefiting you to the point that certain people do not own you, or you have to go and make money, but yet you're not gonna get nothing in return. So be smart with what you're doing in the entertainment industry, young fellas. Yeah, shout out to Herbie Fatal. That's one of my day one supporters. Yeah, it depends because if you actually look at it, Herbie, right? I mean, take for example, Jaguar Wright. Okay, she might not be that known, right? But you see a lot of people who are actually indebted to Jaguar Wright, and then you have certain people who are afraid of Jaguar Wright. Now, with that said, she actually knows the ins and out of the industry. So, with that said, shout out for her for telling her truth, because I think that's why she's a purpose within, I guess, the social media. So what she's doing is she's actually doing good work and also telling people not as far as gossip, but with her telling about her experience about certain artists, certain people are going to listen, and then anybody who wants to be an artist could actually make their own decision on if they should go and sign or not, or if this thing which is called fame is really worth it on on selling your integrity for a piece of change. I could actually say that Jaguar Wright and many others like her are actually doing work which is beneficial to the youth in the long run. A lot of people may not see it that way now, but then when you actually look back from several years and you see a lot of trends, and you be like, hold up, Jaguar Wright said this so and so like maybe 2012 or something like that. So when you actually listen to certain people telling their story, it's like an education that you actually receiving in school to know what your next move is going to be. So Irving, I got a question for you. I've seen that well the the social media creep that loves to dox people. Well, I guess that person has a fascination with one of our friends, Georgia, and is still trying to speak lies on this man's name, and is going off with the stupid story of saying that this person is a mass boomer or something like that. Now, when I'm using the term boomer, I'm just actually saying the words because YouTube they don't allow you to say certain words now. So that's why I say a mass boomer. So anybody in the streets know what a boomer is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then I guess certain people that have jealous issues that they don't want certain people to get together. But yet, when they actually make lies on people that they don't actually know, that actually shows that they do not actually have a skill set as far as having a personality. And then on top of it, they want to make lies on people that they will never really interact with in real life. But yeah, you want to try to find information and everything like that about people that don't really care about you. I tell you, I could actually say that within my YouTube journey, I have met certain people who are cool, certain people who are cuckoo, and certain people who have a level head. Shout out to Don Jose, by the way. Shout out to Radical. Shout out to Denise. Shout out to Gigi. Shout out to Giorgio. Truth Teacher. Um, Dag. Bob Stone. He's a polyglot, meaning that he actually speaks a lot of languages. Well, Bro Top. Shout out to him. Shout out to Ramon, and shout out to my boy Rakim. So those are the actual good individuals I've actually met on these YouTube streets. And also, I've met countless other people. Shout out to my public in Australia, the UK, maybe the Dominican Republic also. So shout out to all my other supporters who are actually outside the United States. Because one thing that we have to see is that there's media which is outside the United States. So therefore we should not go and confine ourselves with only American rap because there's a lot of other rappers and other experiences. And some of these rappers I could actually say they sound good, even though that I guess the part that they speak English might be sounding different than us. But as long as that person speaks legible and you could actually understand what they're saying, I say let them actually have a space in hip hop. So therefore, instead of us being in the same monotonized box that we call urban music right now, we could actually hear other people who actually have their lyrics down pat. They might not be from where we traditionally say where these hip hop rappers are from, but if they have the lyrics and they could actually defend themselves in a freestyle or make a lot of songs that actually are competent, I say play them in the airwaves because at the end of the day, everybody speaks English. And then on top of it, the Hispanic market is booming when you're talking about hip hop. So if the American market, we just doing this, that, and the third, I say expand it more and create more opportunities to people that will actually want to display the hip hop. And what a lot of people don't know is that the hip hop industry, if you actually do it right, you're not only feeding yourself, but you actually putting food in the table for many other people who are actually involved with us. I'm talking about the graphic designers, the directors, the dancers. Now, when I'm talking about dancers, I'm not talking about the video vixens. I'm talking about people who are actually hired to be breakdancing or choreographers. So you're doing all that for the videos and everything like that. Not only you're making money, you talking about your bling or anything like that. There's certain people that are actually doing this to actually put food on the table at their house. They're paying mortgages and everything like that. So if you actually do hip hop right, a lot of people could actually eat instead of all this jealousy. But that's just my view about it. What's your views about it, my public? You could actually come up here on the chat, or you could actually express your opinions on the live chat right now.